Hey guys, what's going on? Happy Labor Day to all my friends and followers out there on YouTube, all my friends on Instagram, and on Twitter. It's me, Eddie, with another episode of Eddie G's Comic Culture, sponsored by Black Apparel. Wanting to give a special shout out to those folks out there. They've been doing some wonderful work and contributions towards the show. They got a great website with good content out there, excellent merchandise for you guys to scope out over at www.blackapparelblk.com. And also giving a special shout out to my friends on Instagram, the Strictly Comedy Vault, who's got some good stuff posted on his page. Excellent work with the Funko Pop figures, by the way. And Blu-ray Dan, who also has a great YouTube channel as well, who's got some excellent, insightful reviews regarding features on Blu-ray, both old and new. And before I start off, I'm going to let you guys know, apparently with the situation with the weather that's coming up, apparently Florida has been declared a state of emergency. So I'm going to be trying to post as much content as I possibly can. As you all know, if you haven't known by now, there is a possible hurricane that's going to go through the central Florida. So I'm definitely going to be on top working on some future episodes to get you guys up and going. So to start off with today's show, I want to discuss that apparently there's been some breaking news on the front with Warner Brothers. Apparently they seem to have narrowed down their search for Shazam or Captain Marvel, however you want to call it. Two actors now for their top choices. Apparently one is a Joshua Sasse or Sasse. I'm not too sure how to pronounce his last name. I do apologize. He's fairly unknown in my eyes, honestly. He's from some show or movie, if I'm not mistaken, Gallivant. I haven't really checked out any of that stuff, so wondering wondering what he brings to the table. I'm pretty sure since he's relatively unknown, as I said in my earlier episodes, usually actors of that nature bring their A game, so that's not a bad, it's not a bad idea. And this one is going to throw you guys off a loop, and unfortunately it kind of threw me off of one as well, and it's John Cena. Yes, you heard me correctly, that John Cena, the WWE wrestler. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm on the fence with it. Honestly, I really am. As I said before, Joshua Sasse is an unknown actor, and I usually like that they go with those prospects because usually relatively unknown actors bring their A game to the table. They do their best to make the role their own, and especially when it's a first time, especially when it's a debut film for such a character, they usually do their best to shine out on these roles. So at this point, it was, like I said, I have no problems or issues with that. John Cena. Now, I think he may, I haven't seen his work. I'm not crazy about looking toward athletes as actors. That was something I was, when I was a kid, it was a big deal for me with stars like Hulk Hogan and so on and so forth, and even The Rock for that matter. But John Cena himself is... Well, I saw that movie that he did with, what was her name, Amy Schumer, Trainwreck. He was there, and he actually knew how to, I guess he was actually pretty funny. So I didn't really have any issues with this character there. I don't see him too often in movies, and I know he had something recently released. What was it called? The Wall. It was another war picture, and it has is starring him and Aaron Taylor Johnson. I'm also not too big on war movies myself, especially the more recent ones. Honestly speaking, the only other war movies I really ever paid attention to is very seldom you'll ever see me getting involved in them, like Saving Private Ryan or Full Metal Jacket is up there with it, up there for me, and Platoon as well. But in all honesty, I'm not a big war movie buff, so I couldn't tell you exactly how The Wall actually turns out. I'm sure my friend Blu-ray Dan may have a review up on his page. But like I said, I can't give you my direct opinion as far as John Cena's acting capabilities are concerned. From what I saw in that one movie, Trainwrecked, and I thought it was pretty good. I thought he did a pretty good job being, being a comedic actor. Um, it worked well. He did his thing. But I guess you can say that my main worry, my main concern about this is obviously you guys know that Dwayne The Rock Johnson is playing Black Adam. Okay, a couple of years ago, him and John Cena, of course, had a huge rivalry in the wrestling WWE, and it was at that point where The Rock was somewhat coming back into the wrestling forum, and it looked like he was making a return. But that's neither here nor there. My main concern about this casting, if they go with John Cena, and this is the involvement of the WWE. I don't want the WWE involved with the DCEU. I just don't. I feel and fear that if they cast John Cena in this movie, that it's kind of going to be like a package deal with the World Wrestling Entertainment, and it's really not what I want. It's not. It's good for promotional use here and there. I'm going to be honest with you. It does good. It does good. It does for good promotions here and there, but to certainly package an entire, movie around it, because one of their biggest stars, because let's be honest, John Cena is still one of their biggest stars, if I'm not mistaken, on WWE. It would just, I just don't want to see an opportunity for a person like Vince McMahon to take advantage and just completely railroad the movie. And that's my main fear about that. I'm not too keen on that. I mean, as far as John Cena's acting capabilities concerned, I think he looks the part. I mean, granted, he lets his hair grow out a little bit or whatever, but I think he would do, I think he would do fine. I think he would look the part, and give or take, some dedication, of course. He would actually take the initiative and make the role his own. That I have no doubt about it. But as I said before, like that tension, that there was that. If he didn't have that famous wrestling rivalry going on with The Rock or Dwayne Johnson, or however you want to call him, I still call him The Rock to this day. Um, it'd be cool. I would have been cool with it actually, but because they did have that rivalry, then it spanned out for a little bit on the WWE as well, if I recall correctly. It's just, to me, it's just gonna sour it. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna really just, it's really not gonna give it it's really not gonna give it the attention that it deserves. It's not. In all honesty, because eventually they are gonna have to confront each other. Even though Black Adam it's been stated before that Black Adam is not gonna be in the movie, in the Shazam movie. Eventually, further down the line in the DC cinematic universe, they will be confronting each other. So that being said, it's I suggest that they tread lightly. You know, I suggested they do some contract negotiations, and the stipulations should be very strict. If the WWE wants to take the opportunity, I think they should take the opportunity to promote the movie at once. If it ever goes through that John Cena does become the next Captain Marvel. But don't pervert it. Don't exploit it. Don't use it to their advantage, because that would really just sour the entire process of the film, and you know the fact that it would take away from what it's most important, which would be John Cena's real big screen acting debut. Honestly. Um, so like I said, I'm still kind of on the fence on that. Although they didn't pick it, they haven't made the decision final as of yet. But something, I don't know. I just have a gut feeling inside of me that they're just gonna end up going with this with Cena. I could be wrong. I'm definitely, I'm open to that, and I'm kind of hoping that I am, honestly. But something tells me that Cena's gonna walk out Captain Marvel for the DCEU, and just doesn't make sense. It's we'll see. We'll see what happens in the next coming weeks. And also, I want some confirmation, first and foremost, that who the villain is going to be. Because if it isn't going to be Black Adam, who else is it possibly going to be? And Oh, another thing that I wanted to mention as to why I think they will be going with John Cena is because the simple fact of the matter is that, yes, of course, production dates for movies change, and they're not really always set in stone, obviously. But if their intentions are to start filming within the first quarter of 2018, which I'm assuming is anytime from January to February, maybe March. I mean, it's not a lot of time, and this Joshua Sassy guy, whoever he is, it doesn't seem like he's really, doesn't seem like there's enough time for him to really get into the gym and bulk up and do what's necessary physically for the role. So, I guess, like I said, that's why I'm feeling like the needle is more leaning towards John Cena. So, hopefully that's, but like I said, we'll wait and see. It's all, we gotta basically just sit back, relax, and hope for the best, and we'll see what happens. Oh, and also again, once again, the rumor mill is circulating once again that Joss Whedon has apparently added quite a bit to the Justice League script. So it's a lot more than what originally speculated or confirmed. It's another rumor, honestly, so I really can't tell you. Man, I gotta say this. These rumors are becoming exhausting. It really is. It's really becoming exhausting because one minute they're saying something, the next minute it's another. One minute it's one thing, the next minute is another. And in all honesty, it's just like who is a serious or like what sucks about this. What sucks about these kind of rumors is that once there's no confirmation, there's really no confirmation, realistically speaking, up until the very end, the last minute. We usually see that happen a lot of times. Most recently with Ghostbusters last year. Um, Dan Aykroyd, who had a cameo in the film, from what I was told, I didn't see it because I had no interest in it. I'm sorry. Um, Okay, man, I love the originals too much. You know what I'm saying? Like I love the originals way too much for me to just go ahead and turn my back on for me to turn my back on them and just see this brand new iteration of the franchise, and then all of a sudden it just completely deserts everything that the originals had built to begin with. And that's my take on it. You know, there wasn't any passing of the torch or any of that nature. It was just a brand new movie that was supposed to be a series, and obviously it wasn't due to the poor box office performance for what it was worth. And then, but like I said, that's neither here nor there. Unfortunately, with Dan Aykroyd finally broke his silence on the matter. He said that the director apparently wasn't listening to their suggestions, and unfortunately, it cost even though the suggestions that they were making to the director at the time, it apparently he ended up having to do what they were suggesting anyway at the very end. So it cost a lot. It cost a lot more than what originally had expected for the movie to be produced, and there were some reshoots obviously on Ghostbusters, and it just looked like the money that was spent on making the movie just wasn't made. It just there wasn't any profit in the returns for the box office. So 9 times out of 10, when you hear things like this going on and you see the situations, because it's always usually around the end when the movies are available on digital HD or Blu-ray. You always get the full scoop at that point because everything is wrapped up, and we'll never know exactly what went on behind the scenes up until then. So the controversy surrounding Justice League at this point has been pretty much exhausting because one week there's something going on, the next week there's another, then it's another, then another, then another, and it just keeps piling on into these whole new things. And then one second it's debunked, and the next second it's not debunked. It's like a vicious circle just going just going on and on and on and on. And what sucks is that unfortunately we won't really know until the final product is released in November, which is kind of still a ways away, about 2.5 months from now, anyways. So I mean, it's apparent that Warner Brothers and DC are real vigilant due to the fact that Wonder Woman has been such a huge success for them that they are going to go forward with the DC Cinematic Universe. It's obvious, though, painfully obvious, that they are no longer going with Zack Snyder's vision. And rightfully so, considering what was done, previously with BVS, and of course the poor reception of Suicide Squad, because apparently I heard that Zack Snyder had a lot of input in Suicide Squad, and it was under his influence, so a lot of it was just a complete and jargled mess. And I enjoyed it for what it was, but at the end of the day, it wasn't anything more than just a regular popcorn flick when the movie should have been a lot more than that. So hopefully this gets rectified immediately, and we don't end up having to wait until the very end. But I just want a good movie. That's all I want. All I just want is a very good movie that honors the characters in a way that they should be honored. That honors the mythology. It honors the background, the story. Because these, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. Superman's about to be 80 years old come next year. Okay, following that is Batman, and then following that is Wonder Woman. They're both not far behind. They are the top tier characters will be officially 80 years old very soon. And there's a lot of rich history to them. There's a lot of backstory to them. So there really should be any reason as to why they should skimp out on these guys. There really isn't no reason why is the movie should skimp out on the representation of these characters, because they are staples in pop culture today, in society today. Everyone recognizes the three of those characters. I don't care who you are, all over the world. Unless you're a hermit who was raised in a cave for your entire life, there's no way you don't know who these people are. And so, for that being said, I just want an absolute, accurate, honorable representation on screen, and hopefully it comes together in a way that it does it justice. No pun intended. But yeah, man, it's just been pretty insane. But I just wanted to toss this episode out there and talk about that. I wanted to hear you guys' thoughts on the entire matter. So with that being said, I'm gonna wrap this one up. It's a pretty quick episode, I know. I'm still working on my Blade Runner tribute, definitely. So guys, keep your eyes open for that, and as well as my Nightmare on Elm Street 3 tribute as well. It's coming up very soon. I'm going to be posting up on my Twitter and Instagram and Facebook accounts, letting you guys know what's the status on those episodes. Once again, thank you all for riding with me, and I appreciate and literally love all the support that I'm getting from everyone. And any questions, comments, or suggestions, you already know the drill. The comment section is right there. And just hit me up and let me know what's up, man. Let's have a conversation going. Let's get this talk going. It's a forum. I love you guys. Take it easy. Be safe. Happy Labor Day. Take care.